Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio.
Okay, here we are again in the unusual position of not only interrupting the President of the United States, but correcting the President of the United States. And Ari Melber, don't go far.
Correct numbers. And the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong. Observers, we went to court in a couple of instances, and we were able to get the observers put in. And when the observers got there, they wanted them 60, 70 feet away, 80 feet, 100 feet.
They're talking about observers at the polling sites where they're now counting the ballots across this country. They have been there, Republicans and Democrats. What he's talking about is the requirement that there be some sort of distance because of the pandemic for those poll watchers. They
have litigation generally because of how unfair this process was. And I predicted that. I've been talking. The Democrats, but in all cases, they're so one-sided.
We're watching President Trump speaking live from the White House, and we have to interrupt here because the president has made a number of false statements, including the notion that there has been fraudulent voting. There has been no evidence of that. Allegations by his campaign, but his
find them all over, and they don't want us to have any observers.
President Trump there speaking live at or from the White House. And the key takeaway from what he said so far, the president saying that if you count the legal votes, I easily win.
Actually appealing, which is sort of interesting. I wonder why that appeal, that all we want to do is have people watch as they do the vote tabulations. Likewise in Georgia, I won by a lot.
And there, the President of the United States addressing the American people for the first time, claiming that if you count the legal votes, I easily win. Nancy Cordes is with us. There were a couple of statements that the president made. Do you have a fact check?
Yes, on a number of fronts, Nora.
First, a little bit. In Georgia, a pipe burst in a faraway location, totally unrelated. They didn't do that. Democrat officials never believed they could win this election honestly. I really believe that. That's why they did the mail-in ballots, where there's tremendous corruption and fraud going on. That's why they mailed out tens of millions.
Well, we're interrupting this because what the President of the United States is saying, in large part, is absolutely untrue.
What happened? Because I've seen it happen. I watched a lot of different elections before they decided to go with this big, massive election with tens of millions of ballots going out to everybody, in many cases totally unsolicited. This was unprecedented in American history. This was by design, despite years of claiming to care about the election security. They refused.